Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw. I'm here with Tarun Kalra, who is General Manager of the Warehouse Hotel in Singapore, a year-old property that's just an amazing boutique property. And we're going to talk a little bit about this hotel, and this is Insider Travel Report. Now, Tarun, this is a wonderful property. It's actually an old warehouse, right? And you've opened about January in 2017, right?
That's right. So these are actually three old warehouses that were originally built in 1895. So it's 123-year-old. And yeah, we opened exactly a year and a few days ago. On the 1st of January 2017.
And there was not always a hotel, even though it's been a building for that. It was a warehouse, and then it was many other things, right?
Right. It has a real nice history, seedy at times, but I would say something fantastic, and I would love to share it with everybody. This particular warehouse was part of the spice trade to start with, then became an opium den. At one point of time was an illegal alcohol distillery. Then became
You're right, it was a little seedy, right?
And then Singapore's most famous disco from 1986 to 1996.
Now we're talking.
Now we're talking, yeah. So for 10 years it was Singapore's most famous disco, called the Warehouse Disco. Before we took over the property about 3 years ago to make it a 37-room, top-notch, high-spec boutique property in Singapore.
Well, let's talk a little about it now. Who owns it and who manages it?
So we're owned by a Singaporean family who's into the property business here. Mr. Chong is the owner. It's managed by the Lo and Behold Group, a premier hospitality company that has been operating in Singapore for the past 12 years.
Yeah, and you're part of Design Hotel Group, right?
Yeah,
the group.
We're affiliated to the Design Hotels portfolio, which has about 300 hotels worldwide. Very proud to be a part of them. Something which really adds a lot of value to us as a property in terms of our branding, marketing, and distribution to our worldwide markets.
Yeah. Now, and you said design. Now, the key to this hotel is design. Let's talk a little bit about what has gone into the design, and it's all kind of locally influenced, right?
That's right. So this particular property has always been managed locally. I proudly say that we are owned 100% local, managed 100% local. Our designers were local, our architects were local. So very proud to say that we're 100% local. Even the building never got taken over by the British or by any other nationalities. It was always passed on from one Singaporean family to another. Today we proudly follow that local tradition. So we do a lot of partnerships that are local.
Yeah, you have almost like, and the design itself is very eclectic. It's some of the ceilings are, like the warehouse, right?
That's right. So all our keys, which are 22 keys on the second floor of the building, they all actually follow the contour of the high ceilings of the warehouses. Some of our key partnerships has been, partnering with companies like Matter Prints that does very fine ikat prints for our bed throws. We partnered with a local pottery company to inaugurate our tea and coffee cups in our rooms. We partnered with a very famous company, a chocolatier company that does chocolates for the property. And we've also done some great partnerships with our retail outlets. So we partnered with a local husband and wife couple that run a shop here called Super Mama. And they've done our entire retail curation at the front desk. So we're still driving local. We will always drive local, and that's really the basis for how we're operating these days.
And one of the other big local things is your in-house restaurant, Po, right? And talk a little bit about that and what the cuisine is.
That's right. So Po is our destination restaurant within the property. Po actually comes from Po, which is grandmother in Chinese. And
we just sampled a bit of a lunch there with a lot of Po specialties. Right?
That's right. And Po also it comes from Popia. Popia being a very Singaporean family traditional eating dish. generally a lot of the families come together and enjoy popia around the table. And that's exactly what we did today at lunchtime.
Yeah, we had a little bit too much food, but it was very good.
So yeah, it's Po does Singaporean specialities elevated to the next level with a lot of focus on quality ingredients, local produce, subtle tastes that really add a lot to the food and beverage that we have to offer.
Yeah, and then of course your main sort of lobby and lounge area is one big huge room, but it's very livable, and you have an amazing, a very different kind of bar too, right?
That's right. So the lobby bar at the Warehouse Hotel, actually the cocktail program, if I can talk about it, runs through the 3 different eras of the building. The first era being the spice trade, the second era being the go down or the warehouse trade, and the third era being the disco. So we have 9 bespoke cocktails specifically made for the property.
I don't think I'm going to stay long enough to get all 9 in, but hopefully we'll do something.
You got to try them at one point of time. But now it's a great bar. Again, a lot of the cocktail infusions made at the bar are all done in-house. Right. So very proudly to say that we do everything homemade. A lot of care is taken into how we do all these things to make sure that we're only giving the best in terms of quality to our customers. So yeah, very proud of the lobby bar as well.
Now, the last thing I want to talk about is the neighborhood, where you are. You're in Robertson Key, and talk a little bit, if you could, about what this neighborhood has to offer and where it's situated in Singapore proper.
Right, so just for everybody's knowledge, Robertson Key Singapore has 3 keys, Boat Key, Clarke Key and Robertson Key. Robertson Key is the quieter of the 3 keys, with Boat Key and Clarke Key being very, very touristy, if I may say. Though they both are equally, like, you can walk there in about 5 to 7 minutes time just by the river. Robertson Key, 50% condominiums, residential, if I may say, and the other 30% hotels and commercial. Being by the river, it's a natural magnet for food and beverage. So a lot of good restaurants and bars are opening by the river. So within like a 5-minute walk, you can touch every cuisine of the world available by the water. Robertson Key also is very near to some local districts which are very, very famous. Example, Tiong Bahru markets, where you've got quaint coffee shops, lovely bookshops, some great art shops as well, which really add to the entire experience that our guests can go to. We actually have 2 bikes for guests to take out, and they can ride by the river or ride to Tiong Bahru and actually have a look at all of this and feel these markets and what they have to offer back.
Okay. Well, Tarun, thank you very much for taking the time to explain this wonderful new boutique design property, really in the heart of Singapore, right by the river. That's right in front of us here. It's a big surprise to find this kind of property here in Singapore, and good luck in the future with the hotel.
Lovely, thank you so much. Lovely to talk to you.
I'm James Shillinglaw for Insider Travel Report.